Today's video is all about taking that cinematic sequence that you just saw and making sure that you can edit it in the most efficient way possible. And that is referred to as proxy editing. Now, a proxy file is essentially a carbon copy of the high resolution 4K or 8K footage that you have to toggle on and off inside of Premiere to make sure that when you're editing through that sequence, it's not bogging down your machine and you can edit in the most efficient way possible. Let's dive into Premiere Pro to show you how it works. So we're inside of Premiere Pro and we have our folder of all of the B-roll that I want to create proxy files out of. So as you can see here, a lot of high resolution B-roll. I'm gonna select all of these and come in here and go right click to where it says proxy and simply create proxies. This little window will pop up and it'll give you options for the frame size, the preset. I like to do an H.264 QuickTime proxy, and then the location, I'm gonna go next to original media in its own proxy folder, so I keep all of those corresponding clips together. Then I'm gonna press OK. Now Adobe Media Encoder will open up to allow us to actually export and begin the proxy process. So this process takes a little bit of time depending on how many files you have, but as you can see right here, we have our QuickTime proxy as a preset. And as we scroll up, we'll notice that Media Encoder is doing its thing and outputting each of those files as its own proxy that we can then toggle on and off inside of Premiere Pro. So once this is done encoding, we will hop back inside of Premiere Pro to see how much more efficiently we can edit these clips. Okay, so all of our proxies have been created inside of Media Encoder, and again, they are now being saved directly to the folder where all of our files already exist in its own dedicated proxies folder. So we can see all of our proxy files are being automatically named. So none of the clips that we actually shot are being destroyed. They're still all here in our folder, and we just have now a backup to edit more efficiently in Premiere Pro. So all I'm going to do right now is take all of my files that have been generated as proxy files, highlight them, and drag them into my timeline to start editing. And what you'll see on the timeline is this little proxy button that tells us that a proxy file has been created, but we have to now toggle that on. And to do that, you're gonna see a button up here called Toggle Proxies. If you click that on, now we see that this is blue and all of our proxy files are actually being used as the proxy instead of the full high resolution. So when I play all these high quality, high resolution 4K clips, I am not getting any lag and I'm at a full resolution here, and I can very easily go through, create my selects, toggle through all of my B-roll that I wanna be able to see the full effect of it to make the cuts that I want and actually make the best edit possible. So now let's say we wanna come in here and export the rest of all these files as one long sequence, or this is our final video. You don't have to change anything about your export sequences. You come up here to File, Export Media, and you essentially export the video the exact same way you would, and Premiere will recognize that it's a proxy file you're editing off of, and it will export that video at the highest resolution from the original clip that you shot. This is a huge time saver when using a machine that's not going to render these high quality 4K, 8K files fast enough. And even if you have a fast machine, it is just a much more efficient way to edit large cinematic files. Now you are officially an expert at using proxy files to edit in your workflow and speed up the process. So make sure to stick around on Adobe Live as we have plenty more tutorials like this one in the coming weeks and months as a part of this series. And I can't wait to see what you create.